Tonight, we take you back to East Grand Bahama as we attempt to show you the magnitude of damage in that community. The force of the monstrous storm reducing the area to a wasteland, taking many lives, and today many more are still missing. In this report, Rumiko Knowles tells us that even though they are in a state of despair, residents of the East refuse to give up.
Hurricane Dorian is the most powerful tropical cyclone on record to strike the Bahamas and is regarded as the worst natural disaster in the country's history. The first major hurricane of the 2019 Atlantic hurricane season stalled over the Bahamas for 48 hours, causing calamitous damage to the island and leaving behind a trail of misery, sorrow, and pain. Homes are completely destroyed, flattened by the monstrous winds of Hurricane Dorian, and others, only the foundation remain. Cellular towers bent like pieces of plastic and cars tossed into the ocean. Words prove inadequate when trying to express the amount of damage caused by this deadly storm, particularly for those residing in the east. From Equinor Statoil's oil spill to the raging waters in McCelan's town, Dorian has certainly left its mark. A number of persons perishing and many are still unaccounted for. A 48-year-old resident of High Rock, Ronald Smith, along with his brother who was wheelchair-bound, braved Hurricane Dorian in this house behind me. His brother still missing.
I mean, I was trying to save him, but the doors then was sealed, everything was sealed, the water was over on top of the roof, so I mean, I tried to break out to try to see if I could get his part of the window, and when I came out, I met a puddle of water and tried to go to the south side. I met 6 feet of water, and there was a current in the water. When the current took me into the tree, hit to the tree, I was able to hop up into the tree, and that's where I spent my hurricane from 2 till 6 in the morning.
And that would have been the last time that you saw your brother?
Yeah, that's the last time.
And what are you feeling now?
Well, I mean, like, I'm feeling like I wonder if I could have put up a better fight to save my brother, or like, I mean, this is a second brother I had died already. I was trying to save my other brother had a heart attack, and a doctor was here. He's trying to tell us, like, try to see if he could pump his heart and try to bring him back. So none of them I was able to save. So I mean, that's just something mentally going through me.
And I see that you have some band-aids and wrapped around your arm.
Beat up in the tree. There's some strong winds up in there. Like, I didn't, you know. So all of that, I wouldn't say, I think that that's the help of the Lord would have helped me through that.
Another resident of High Rock combing through what's left of his home, trying to salvage whatever remains. He too clinged to a tree for 48 hours. Now, he was not willing to share his story with our news team, but it is one that he says he's going to take to the grave. Pastors and medical doctors went throughout the community with medicine and words of hope. As we got further into the east, the sight became even more unbearable. Pelican Point, a small and quiet community known for its tranquil shores and coconut festival, was completely demolished. St. Matthew Baptist Church, a place in the community where many gathered for prayer and worship, decimated. One resident from Pelican Point baffled as to how this barge that I'm standing on ended up on her property. It is believed that this barge belongs to Deepwater Key.
Well, I don't know how the barge got here, but to me, the barge had to be in a lot of water. But in my house, the water was only about a foot deep. Some part only was about 3 inches deep. So how did the barge get here?
As we traversed even further along the eastern part of Grand Bahama, the strength of Hurricane Dorian became even more evident as we noticed one home was moved off its stilts to the other side of the street. Whilst it may take years to rebuild, some persons are already on the move. Paul Major, along with others, are starting with Sweeting's Key.
They remain resilient, but not defiant in the face of this massive hurricane we have. But someone has to make a beginning somewhere to do something. And we're going to do some cleanup, and what is possibly left standing, put the pieces together, seal up until we can begin to get some supplies in. Because it's the best place in the world to be. The best place to be.
Now, beyond the mountains of rubble and death toll that continues to rise, there is one thing that remains evident for persons residing in the East: their love for God and love for their country. For me and my cameraman, Roger Russell, I'm Ramiko Knowles, ZNS Network News.
Thanks so much for that touching story, Ramiko.